guys. How you doing? Doing good? Good, great. Okay, so I just want to start off this video by mentioning that everything that I'm about to say is based off of my own personal opinion and based off of who I am in the lesbian community. I don't think that what I'm gonna say fits everybody's opinion because it's just an opinion. But yeah, I just want to start with that and make sure that there are no ill feelings between anybody just because this is my personal experience and this is how I feel about the topic. Um, Sorry, that was my cat. So, I've been seeing a lot on TikTok lately about masc and femme lesbians and how it seems like in the eyes of social media that there's really only one or the other and that there aren't multiple women who identify in all different forms, all different styles, how they dress, what they wear, whatever, and how you wear your hair, whatever it may be. Um, but yeah, I wanted to talk about masculine toxicity in the lesbian community and how I think that social media has really been kind of pushing not necessarily that it's like a negative stereotype, but just that it's the only one because whenever it comes down to it, people look at lesbians and no matter what, like there's a stereotype that more masculine or butch women are lesbians that comes with a short haircut, a flannel t-shirt, whatever, but that's not how everybody portrays themselves. That's not what all lesbians are. And for people like myself, I have personally had a hard time whenever I came out. I had a hard time finding where I fit, I guess, in the community. Um, I remember whenever I was younger, I was, well, younger, I was 20. I was like going through all these, I guess, I don't know. I was going through like an identity crisis, which makes sense. I had just figured out that I was gay, so I obviously like wanted to fit into the community. I think that everybody kind of goes through that where they figure out, oh, I'm gay, awesome. What does that mean? How do I dress? How do I let other women know that I'm gay, without blatantly coming out and saying it because not everybody has the courage to just be like, hey, you're cute. Can I take you on a date? Yeah, I don't have that courage. So that was a big thing for me. And I remember always going to my mom and being like, well, I need to change up my style. Like, I need to be super feminine or I needed to dress more masculine in order for people to know that I was a lesbian, am a lesbian, I still am. But I realized that with that, I kind of lost like myself. I don't know. I was always, whenever I was in high school, I was the type of girl who literally just wore t shirts and jeans every single day. And every year, whenever the school year would start, I would go through this thing where I was like, no, I need to go and buy a bunch of really cute clothes and look really girly and all these sort of things. And that happened literally at the beginning of every single school year. And it would last maybe a couple of weeks before I would go back into like my t shirts and jeans and whatever tennis shoes that I would wear. And so whenever it came to me coming out, I really didn't fit either one because I do have feminine features. I do have my long hair. I do have like I wear mascara. No, I wear makeup. I do wear my mascara too, but I wear makeup so that kind of like heightens the femininity for me as well. But then I'm not the type of girl that loves to wear heels. I don't enjoy wearing skirts or dresses. I mean, I like dressing up whenever it's more of a formal occasion, but other than that, I have this one pair of shorts that I wear like almost every other day. I promise I wash them, but like literally I wear those same shorts and I wear a t-shirt or I wear what you're seeing right now. And I mean, other than that, I'm in like my work uniform or just in PJs here at home. But that was a big thing that I fell into. I became so self-conscious because on top of coming out and everything like that, then you get into this whole excited, like, wow, I can now like experience what it's like to be a lesbian, meaning that like maybe you go on like dating apps or something like that. And the thing is that whenever or for me personally, whenever I was on these dating apps, I realized very quickly that it's one or the other, you know, whether if you're more masculine, then you're into femmes. If you're femme, then you're into masks. And that's like nobody was interested in me, and I found it really, really hard to date at first coming out. Ooh, sorry, I have like a burp that's stuck in there and it doesn't want to come out, but um, so yeah, that's a big thing is that like whenever you come out, you feel almost as if, or whenever you come into the community and you realize that like, you know, typically, and I hate to like stereotype it, but typically, whenever I would come across these scenarios, I found that mask girls were into femme girls and femme girls were into mask girls. And there wasn't really a place for me because there wasn't really like a middle. And usually, whenever I would come across like somebody that I found attractive, and that's the thing too, is that like I'm mostly attracted to, I guess, more mask presenting women, or I don't know, I guess more like in the middle, like me, because I like girls who are more tomboy, tomgirl, whatever you want to call it, but I just naturally don't gravitate towards the more like masculine energy because I personally like to, you know, provide. I like to take care of my significant other and X, Y, and Z, and it's kind of like it's really hard because then whenever you get into it, you're like, oh, well, there's exceptions to everything. But these are just my personal experiences. And the fact that whenever I found a girl that I found attractive, or because I definitely do have a type, a girl that I found attractive, she was never really into me because I wasn't feminine enough, feminine enough, or like I didn't wear whatever it is that makes you a femme lesbian, you know? And so I found it really, really difficult to date, and girls just weren't really that interested in me because I wasn't one or the other. Another thing that I realized last night, actually, whenever I was thinking about doing this video, was that a huge part of me, I think, associates whether I'm feeling more masc or femme for somebody who falls in between like me. I feel more masc or more femme depending on, and it's sad to say, but depending on my weight. And that will be a much more like dove into topic at some point because it really is. I've struggled with my weight in a ED for a very, very long time in my life. And I think that I realized last night because I was feeling down on myself for my weight, and it's been fluctuating a lot lately, and I'm struggling with that personally. But last night I didn't feel cute or attractive in anything that I was wearing, and it's because everything that I was wearing or putting on was more feminine, you know. I was trying on more shorts, different shorts that I have in my closet. I was trying on different like more like blouses, you know, something a little bit nicer. And like I felt fat, I felt ugly. I didn't look good in my opinion. But then as soon as I go and I put on like, you know, just basketball shorts or like athletic shorts is what I'm wearing right now, and a bigger t-shirt, then I felt cuter, more attractive. I can't say that I fully understand why. That's the reason for therapy, and a big reason of why I'm in the schooling that I'm in. Sorry, a little bit of brain fart, but that's why I'm in the schooling that I'm in because I am interested to learn about these different things in my life that I would like to unpack and figure out where all of these things stem from and these stereotypes and hetero norms that, oh, sorry, that I guess perpetuated by society. And it's just hard because then it only leaves a couple of categories for people like myself to fall into, and to feel like you have to change yourself in a community where it was already hard because you were living in a community, a straight community, where you weren't comfortable because you weren't fully yourself, but then to then come out and have to figure yourself out, and on top of that, figure out like what you should be wearing and how you can get a girl to like you if you're not falling on one spectrum of the other of being masculine or feminine. And it's not fair. It's hard. So another thing that, like I was saying, not only my weight, but like my makeup and what I'm wearing that day or how my hair is done, 100% dictates how I feel and how I'm willing to dress that day and how I'm willing to present myself to the world. I think that obviously that's a thing for most people, but on top of that, if you think about it, not only do I have to think about what I want to present as, most people just have clothes in their closets, not like they have to decide whether they want to look more masculine or more feminine that day, because maybe you're straight or maybe you solely are on the masculine side. Maybe you aren't comfortable being on the feminine side, or maybe you're more femme and don't have any mask clothes or anything like that. It could be one or the other, but ultimately, and it's not like I have a bunch of clothes. Sorry, I almost said a bad word. But I have, a split closet. So it's really hard to then wake up, decide how I want to look for the day, and then decide how I want to present myself to the world. Not only thinking about, oh, is this a nice outfit or something like that, but thinking more so of my personality and who I am as a person, and what do these clothes reflect? What does my makeup reflect? What is my hair telling people? And that in itself is an issue of my own. I mean, I've gotten a lot better at not caring so much about fitting in one way or the other. And ultimately, at the end of the day, the right person is going to come along. If you aren't like meshing well with a certain type of person, I don't know, whether it's because they are masc or femme, or whether they're in the middle like me, then sometimes you don't always mesh with the other side, and there's a reason for that. I think that typically whenever people look at lesbian relationships, they think that there has to be a masculine and a feminine one, or lady, whatever, woman. But that's just because of the societal norms that we have in place about the fact that straight people need to see the representation of a man and a woman. So whenever you see a more masc woman and a femme woman, then obviously that's easier for people to make sense of who like wears the pants in the relationship, or who takes care of the household, or whatever it may be. Who's the more dominant one in the relationship is typically what it means. And that's just not true. It's just not. Whenever I was looking at dating different women and stuff like that, I found that I didn't fit, not just because of the attraction, because the attraction was there for me at least, but the reason why we didn't fit is because the energy was too much. Whenever there's too much masculine energy in a relationship, because you both want to be the provider, or maybe more so like the caregiver, or whatever it may be, if you feel like you are on that same level but you just don't represent yourself as a masculine lesbian because of the fact that you don't wear what masculine lesbians wear, or whatever it may be, it doesn't mean that that masculine energy isn't there. So then you're butting heads in your relationship because the energy flow is off. I don't think that it's about finding someone who's hyper femme or hyper masc to fit the opposite. It's more so just about finding who has the right energy, and not so much about looks and how we present ourselves, but more so it's about first inside. That's all it is, in straight and gay relationships. That's all it is. So just as long as we can remember that, that's the most important part. And I mean, I found my girlfriend, we both have the same views on this, as far as she falls in the middle, maybe a little bit more to the mask side, but she falls in the middle, and she likes dressing up and wearing makeup whenever the occasion is right, but for the most part she's dressed down like me. And we found each other because we both fit, our energies fit, and there's not one that's overtaking the other's energy and vice versa. So, I mean, I feel like that was a lot. It was kind of all over the place. I'm trying to get better at this editing thing. I'm gonna give it a shot after this. So, yeah, it's just my personal experience with coming out and not feeling like I fit necessarily in the lesbian community, but then having to just realize that it's just what you're into. Whatever you're into, just put your pants on, put a shirt on, go out the door, and just be yourself, and you will attract the right woman. I promise you. Because she's out there somewhere. It just might take a little bit to find her, but that's the reason why she's so hard to find, because she's the good one. So, just as long as you guys can remember that, and stay true to yourselves, no matter how cheesy it may be, but do it. I love you guys. If you have any questions or comments, concerns, if I said anything to offend you, please let me know down in the comments below. I always want to learn. I always want to correct myself if I'm offending anybody. I don't want to do that here. So, yeah, other than that, you guys have a great day. Any social media that you can follow me on or anything is going to be down below. If you want to like and subscribe, go ahead and do that. If not, that's your choice. All right. Have a good day, guys.